investment-minded, but it's also volatile and accelerating in complexity. That's why we created Token Metrics, an intelligent crypto platform backed by an industry-leading combination of data, AI, and media that feeds optimized portfolios to crypto investors. Featuring Token Metrics ratings to help you find the best investment opportunities in real time, an indices page that showcases various model portfolios, and deep insights into price predictions and technical analysis. A dedicated NFT dashboard that evaluates NFT collections and assets by our machine learning algorithm to find the most profitable and secure NFTs across all available blockchains. Plus, with access to Token Metrics TV, monitor 24/7 exclusive crypto news and analysis. Whether you're a first-time trader or a seasoned crypto investor, you can stay informed and in control, backed by your all-in-one crypto companion, Token Metrics. Take control of crypto today at tokenmetrics.com.
There's no sound. We can't hear you, Ian. Yes, now we can hear you.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes? Okay. So I'm guessing if I go to the chat, can you guys hear me now? How about now? Do you hear me now, Gaurav?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyway, let's start that all over again. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Apologies for the delay and the technical issues. I'm traveling. I'm here at home with family in the DMV. Just been having some issues with my MacBook Pro. But anyways, still wanted to get out this live stream, holiday or no holiday, Christmas or not, because it's crypto family, Token Metrics family. So here to answer any questions you have about crypto. This will be your old school AMA. Won't have a desktop or screen share because I'm doing this on my iPad. But any questions, anything you want us to cover and talk about regarding crypto, the markets, post down below in the chat. This is going out to YouTube, Twitter, I think even Twitch as well. So any questions you have, post down below, and be sure to tell a friend that not being in crypto, yes, even in time like this, not being in crypto is still a financial crime. Crypto has been instrumental in changing my life, transforming my life. We've helped lots of people out there, even before Token Metrics, get financial freedom through crypto investing with a data-driven approach to investing using Token Metrics. And now we're here to evangelize that same message. Because don't forget, last market cycle, it was the same game. We were here in a bear market, still grinding, still researching, and we found those 100x, 400x wins, those investments. And now the game has reset, excessive capital has been flushed out, and now it's time to find the next big wins for the next market cycle. So we're here burning the midnight and the daylight oil to find the next 100x investments. All right, so with that being said, let's see who's in the chat. All right, so happy holidays to WAC. Let's go. Bull Runner 76, BK Crypto. Hey, what's up? Is that Brooklyn Crypto? Apologies, I do want to do a meetup in Brooklyn. I know you guys have been asking for one. If that's you, just email my team at info@tokenmetrics.com and we'll try to put one together. Great filibuster. What's going on? Hatem, what's up? Dominique. Where's Forrest? So Forrest will be joining us for these live streams once a month. So once a month on the live streams, and then also once a month with our customers on a webinar. So basically, we have him for about half the month, but different events and streams. He was with us this week on the private webinar, which goes out to our premium customers and above. Hey, Williams. Ludovic, what's up? Daydream, what's going on? Alan, happy holidays to you as well. Tom, Alicia, Sharad, what's up? Kenichi, Dominique. I just came back from Qatar. I was there for the World Cup. I was there for a week. Great experience. For those who follow me, I love soccer and football. That's my third World Cup. Began with Brazil, then did Russia 4 years ago, and now Qatar. And the next one's going to be here in North America, in the US. It's a combination of the US, Canada, and Mexico. When's the next Austin meetup? Actually, good question. I haven't done an Austin meetup as well. Maybe it's time we do some meetups. We'll definitely, let me actually write that down so I don't forget. I definitely want to help do as many meetups as we can. I know it's kind of been a while, over a year since I've really been doing meetups. So I'll do. All right, put that on my to-do list. Austin and New York meetup. All right, so what questions do you have for me? Let's actually, speaking of questions, we had a poll on our YouTube channel on Token Metrics. Let me go through and actually answer that first. Just give me a second to pull it up. All right, so the question was, which cryptocurrency project should we review in today's stream? Now, obviously, I don't have my computer with me, so it's going to be tough doing this on the iPad. So I can just kind of talk to them. The options we had were Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Polkadot, and anything else. All right, so very interesting. The winner with 32% of the streams, I'm sorry, not streams, of the votes, Polkadot. Polkadot is the winner. So let me talk on Polkadot. One, Polkadot, great technology, great narrative. One of the big narratives for the next market cycle will be interoperability. I think now what we're all kind of seeing, the next big narrative that's been trending is a multi-chain world. We won't have just one pure blockchain that is the king of them all. I mean, maybe right now Ethereum, about 2/3 of the market is on Ethereum. But with that being said, even in the Ethereum ecosystem, it's becoming multi-chain. You have layer 2. We're basically shifting towards application side chains, where it's better to have an application running on its own blockchain and borrowing security from an L1 as opposed to being built directly on the L1. So I think that consensus has already sailed. Because if by going back to Polkadot, why I think Polkadot is well capitalized, one, they're well funded. Two, over 90%, I believe 94% of the tokens are already circulating. So they have a very low inflation schedule. Right? So what, 6% or so of the tokens will have to hit the market, and that's about it. So if anything, it's going to get scarce. The technology is already good. The only downside with Polkadot are the parachain options. What I'm hearing from just being in the space and from lots of people in the space is developers don't like how expensive it is to launch on Polkadot, having to basically partake in these auctions. Right, so the sound's going choppy. Let me just take up my AirPods. I don't think I need them.
Can you speak again? No, we can't hear you properly. No, you're not you're not audible. Can't hear you. Cannot hear you. No, can't hear you yet. Not yet. No sound from your side.
All right. Okay, I'm seeing here that it's working. We should be good now.
Yes, it's fine now.
Are we good, Gaurav?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, all right. All right, we got it working. Hallelujah. Okay, so let me go back to the poll, right? So the poll was, what crypto project should we review in today's stream? I'm doing this on the iPad, as you've seen, with the technical issues because of my MacBook having other issues. I'm here home for Christmas with the holidays. But anyway, Polkadot. Polkadot, I think, is poised to do well. One, great technology. We've already done a code review on them. They scored over 90% out of 100%. So technology is solid. By the former co-founder of Ethereum, Gavin Wood, who's now stepped down from Polkadot. But the reason why I like Polkadot, I'll give you the pros and cons. From the pro perspective, the tokenomics are great. Not much inflation. Over 90% of the tokens are already circulating. So there's not much friction holding it down from going up and going to the moon and beyond. Even though it's a large market cap and the space is getting very competitive, the fact that it's great technology, the only issue, the only con right now, the large con I see, the large negative I see, and from talking to people in the space, is it's expensive for new projects to want to build on Polkadot. The whole parachain auctions and everything, it is very, very costly. Now, I'm not a Polkadot expert in terms of the whole ecosystem. I've only been in Ethereum, but you basically have to get a bunch of funds, stake them, lock them up, whatever, and not every project can do that. So what I'm seeing is lots of projects are going to Cosmos. We actually didn't have, do we have Cosmos on this list? We didn't have Cosmos on this list, but I'm actually more bullish on Cosmos than all these other projects. I'll tell you why, right? Because if you're a developer building on Cosmos, or let's say you want to build an application-specific project without having to be bothered with L1 inefficiencies in terms of not scaling, what blockchain project do you go to? And we're seeing lots of developers go to the Cosmos ecosystem because, one, they can borrow security from Cosmos, right, through IBC. And basically, Cosmos is the L1 that secures them, and they have their own application-specific chain, and they can still be part of the whole ecosystem. So in the same manner how you have Ethereum, then you have L2s with Polygon, with Arbitrum, Optimism, and all basically they're all EVMs on a different blockchain that's secured by Ethereum, or basically puts the transactions on Ethereum. With Polkadot, it also fits the whole interchain or the whole Internet of Blockchain narrative, but there's friction with getting new projects to onboard. Unless somebody here is maybe an expert in Polkadot ecosystem, that's the main challenge, is onboarding new developers who don't have the funds to do all that in terms of locking down their Polkadot and being part of the auctions. I get it, it's great for curating projects, but is it really the best way to grow at scale? And ever since Polkadot launched, there's now more competition. You have a lot more projects out there that are competing with it. So in terms of the Internet of Blockchains, you have Polkadot, you have Cosmos, you have Avalanche with subnets. Am I still frozen? I'm not sure what's going on here.
No, you're good now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so let's look at the price of SOL. Solana is at around $12, and their all-time high was 260. So from 260 to they're 95% down from all-time high. Now, this might seem crazy, but this is actually normal, right? For most L1s, if you go back to the last market cycle, Bitcoin dropped about 85% from all-time high, and Ethereum dropped about 95% from the last all-time high, right? Because basically Ethereum went to over $1,000, then went down to like $80. But basically now this market cycle, Ethereum is a lot more mature. So Ethereum going to ETH, Ethereum is Ethereum is only down 75% from all-time high. So if anything, with each cycle, each project gets more mature. L1s get more mature. So if Ethereum dropped 95% from all-time high last cycle, this cycle I was anticipating 85%. So the fact it's only 75% is actually pretty good, because its high was almost 4,900, slightly below that. So not bad. Now, where was I? So for Solana to be down 95%, Solana is basically dropped as much as Ethereum did last cycle. So it's not necessarily the end of the world. Maybe this is the bottom, who knows? But I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole until we know exactly what's going to happen with Alameda and FTX, who own about 10% of the entire supply. And then the main thing is what's going to happen with other developers, other products in the Solana ecosystem. Are they going to stay in Solana and just build it out? Or are they going to migrate to other chains? Because Solana uses Rust. There are other blockchains launching that also use Rust. So I think that is competitive, but it's probably going to be tough to just port because done quite like EVMs. But anyway, long story short, still bullish on Solana long term. Short term, very, very, very bearish. So basically, I'm taking a wait and see approach. But I do like that it's down 75% from all-time high. Our company, a fund, does have Solana, but we aren't really touching it anytime at the moment. All right, then the other on the other list was Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, Ethereum is Ethereum. It's not going down anywhere. The fact it's only down 75% from all-time high is pretty good. It's a pretty good vote of confidence. 2/3 of the market is on Ethereum. And now you have this multi-chain world, which I talked about earlier, that's happening. So as this is happening, I think the next narrative are L2s. We've kind of been beating this as a dead horse. But how do you play this game, right? Because you have Polygon, which we all made money in the last cycle as the L2 on Ethereum. But now you have Arbitrum, you have Optimism, you have ZK Sync, you have all these other L2s. But why I don't really like how they've launched, they basically launched to insiders. It's VC Ponzonomics, and it's very hard to really make money. I mean, I did get part of the Optimism airdrop because I used, I believe, a DEX or something. I think 1inch Exchange, there's some DEX on there. I didn't get much, nothing to really write home about. But while they're great technology, I don't think it makes sense to buy Optimism, which I've talked about before. It's the inverse of Polkadot. They have over, I believe, about 4 to 5% of the tokens circulating, and they have 95% illiquid that will flood the market over time. So the rate of inflation on that is going to be ridiculous. So that means whatever return you have, if you factor in that inflation, you aren't really making money. Let's say Optimism at current market cap can do a 10x return. If you factor in inflation of those tokens hitting the market, it might have to do, I'm just putting out some numbers out there, let's say a 20x just to get a 10x return. That's how bad inflation can affect your returns. Sometimes even a lot worse. So knowing that, what do? You just play the wait and see approach. You put it in your watch list and you wait. For me, ideally, I would wait until the majority of tokens are circulating. So until 50%, ideally 60% or more are in the market. That way, you know, there's not much inflation that's going to affect the price. Now, preferably in the best of best world, you want 80% of the tokens to really be out there in the market, but that might not really do well. Sorry, that might take a while. But with that being said, you can still make money on these projects, but you have to have the perspective of you're trading them. You're a trader because you know that fundamentally it's Ponzi-nomics. They have a very low float. It's a pump and dump game. And you'll be exit liquidity to those tokens, those whales, those insiders who have to dump on the market to bring those tokens into the market. So the question is, do you want to get dumped on? Hell no. Right? So you just kind of wait it out. So optimism, we have Arbitrum. Arbitrum is actually better than optimism from a developer adoption standpoint. And there's speculation that there'll be an airdrop. We posted in our private LS channel a link to some people talking with a guide on how to potentially earn the airdrop through doing a different activity. One quick one is GMX. If you're trading on any kind of derivatives exchange, GMX is on Arbitrum. And I think even Gains Network is going to be going onto Arbitrum. We finished a code review on Gains Network. Didn't come out too well. They don't really have too much technical documentation out there. So right now, it's purely a trade. It's very, very speculative. I believe it's scored like a 60%. That should be coming out sometime soon to our customers. But L2 narrative, I think the alpha is really getting the L2 airdrops. I think that's really the big win. If you got the optimism airdrop, if you're playing the Arbitrum airdrop, if you're getting the different projects building on that on those chains, I think that's kind of what you have to do. All right, but anyway, yeah, apologies for the sound going choppy. I'm not sure exactly why that keeps on happening. But anyway, we'll persevere. We'll just keep on going. Let's see here. Let me just go back to the poll. All right, so, and we had Bitcoin. Man, I'm trying to sing because I sound like a broken record, but Bitcoin is old news. I mean, yes, it has a utility, but nobody's going to make money on Bitcoin. I'm sorry to say, the money's already been made. We're looking for the next Bitcoin or the next Bitcoin. That's how far ahead you want to be. You want to skate to where the puck is going, not to where the puck was. Because right now the puck was in Bitcoin. Now it's in Ethereum and the L2 ecosystem, but where's the puck going to next? That's how you make the 100x returns. You're not going to make that holding where the puck was. That's old news. I mean, maybe it's very sentimental. Maybe you like the nostalgia, but take a photo, take a postcard, frame it, and call it a day and move on to the next Bitcoin, right? So that's kind of my perspective. But anyway, happy holidays, everybody. Let me go through and see what questions we have. Thoughts on Pulse Chain? Not much. I mean, I'm friends with Richard. I met him in different conferences. He's quite the personality, very in-your-face kind of guy. First time I met him, I hated him, didn't really like him, but we kind of became friends just through different conferences and bonding, kind of seeing a different side of him. Pulse Chain, I would not touch it. I don't have any plans to touch it. That's all I can really say. At this point in time, preservation of capital is key. I mean, we can definitely welcome Richard on here to explain it to us. But my understanding was there was an airdrop, and now you also have to kind of sacrifice some ETH. But I'll say what I said before with Hex. Most people were very bearish on it. We said that technology-wise it wasn't good, but we said that free money is free money. I mean, I'll never be the one person to tell anybody not to take an airdrop, right? That's exactly what I'll say with Pulse Chain. If you're getting the airdrop, if it's free money, collect your money, right? Collect your dues. But if you have to stake or sacrifice or give away funds, then it becomes risky in a market like this. At this point in time, I mean, I think airdrops is where it's at. Do you see ICO VC pools happening again? If yes, how? Using DAOs? No, I mean, right now there's lots of regulation around that. So in this market, I don't really think so. I mean, there are investor syndicates and the investment DAOs, whether those done through Delaware or Wyoming, or sometimes even just offshore in other parts outside the US. But investment DAOs are good. I think it's a feasible structure. We actually had one, but we had to close it just it was a hassle to run. You have to really find the right people to be part of a DAO. And in this current climate, with what happened with the CFTC going after a crypto project and basically suing members of the DAO, I mean, those were shots fired that lots of DAO members heard and said, what? Because they served the DAO, I think, it was some crazy way. What? I don't think it was even via people. I think they served the DAO online through a Reddit forum. I mean, so if you're in a DAO, I mean, be careful. Will the market drop, and what are some low cap gems? Yeah, market cap. We think the market can go lower. Now, looking at all these different crypto projects, because on the research side, in terms of investing, we basically shared a list of projects we're looking at, 20 to 30 projects we're looking at. And we're going through looking at how far down those projects are from all-time high. And it's pretty low. It is pretty low. Like I mentioned before, Solana is down 95% from all-time high. The question is, how low do you think we can go? ETH is only down 75%. But you have other projects. I would say most altcoins are down 95%. And these are the alts that we think can bounce back next market cycle. If they're down 95% from all-time high, how low do they go? I would say typically some go down 99% and then bounce back. But the question is, the space always gets bigger, more tokens, more new projects enter the space. It becomes more competitive. So those projects down 95 to 99% from all-time high, can they bounce back and survive the next new market cycle when investors are looking for the shiny new sexy project, right? People might be done with the old L1s looking for the new L1s. For example, Solana was the new L1, Avalanche was the new L1. Nobody cared about Icon, nobody cared about OneChain or all these, right? So people basically ride narratives. They're basically surfing the narrative wave. So for those new projects to come back, they have to have lots of developer adoption and growth, have great tokenomics, basically comparing, as mentioned before, Optimism versus Polkadot. And then also finding that right narrative to ride the wave, right? So if we think the next narrative is going to be a multi-chain world, internet of blockchains, again, then what projects can ride that narrative? What projects building in those ecosystems can ride that same narrative? Right? Because in Solana, you had Stepin, you had what else? You had all these other narratives. So basically, the big narratives we had the whole Solana ecosystem. We had Solana NFTs, like all those that basically were copy and paste from Ethereum. Because they had was it Sol Apes? Basically, the Bored Apes of the Solana ecosystem. Then I would say you had NFTs, Bored Apes as well. You had Axie Infinity with GameFi, blockchain gaming. So all those were big narratives. Hey, what's up, Cryptechology? What's up? DT from London, what's up? Merry Christmas, Tom. Thank you. Yeah, Brooklyn into the house. What's up? Yeah, having a good holiday season. Here with the family. Here to celebrate Christmas. Hey, what's up, Bitsy in Lagos, Nigeria? I've been loving my Afrobeats, man. Afrobeats is blowing up. Yeah, BK Crypto, email info@tokenmetrics.com. And our team will get to you. Or actually, or just even DM me on Twitter. Might be easier. At Diary of a Made Man. Hi, Ian. With the TM indices in negative right now, would you still recommend building your portfolio as per TM indices? A very, very good question. So the TM indices, yes, they're negative, which sucks. But we figured out exactly why, and we fixed that problem, or we fixed the first part of it. The first part, which I think I covered this on stream before, or maybe it was a customer webinar, but basically, our models. So the TM indices, when it's a bearish market, based on the market pace, market indicator, they're primarily in stablecoins. About 10% or less is in alts. So you have like 5 to 10% exposure in alts, but for the most part, about 75% or more is in stablecoins. And that part was doing well. But once it flipped to bullish, it gets out of stables and shifts to being all in on the market. Basically, it goes from risk off to risk on. That happened. And then basically through what I think was like a 4-day time period or whatever, the whole FTX thing happened. And the indices, I mean, the weekly and monthly, those take forever to, because they take a week to, weekly takes a week to rebalance. So it got wrecked, being in the market with the whole FTX thing. The daily got wrecked as well. Not as bad, but still wrecked because it took it a while to readjust to, oh snap, the market is crashing because of FTX flood, risk off. So what we've done is we've increased the threshold required for it to switch from bearish to bullish. So basically we made it less sensitive. So it takes even more in the market for it to go from bearish to bullish. And then the other part that we have to explore, but it will take some time, we have to find ways to factor in news sentiment and Twitter. And because we do have sentiment grade on the platform, but it's only for 30 cryptocurrencies right now, based on our data provider. We're working on a new version that will expand to, I believe, 80 or more crypto assets. So we have to have a way to add the sentiment analysis in real time for news sites, Twitter, social, into the market indicator. That way, let's say it says, you know what, risk off to risk on. And then the next day, there's Binance FUD saying, oh, wow, Binance is insolvent. They're going bankrupt. It was a scam, allegedly. So it has to be able to adjust very, very fast, right? And then the other issue we have as well is currently our pricing is daily. So our prices update our prices update every 5 minutes on tokenmetrics.com. But the daily indices and all these other things, and also our grades and TM indicators, they update basically a few times a day. Now, in the future, we'd like to switch to real-time pricing. That way, we have minute by the minute, second by the second pricing data. So, for instance, if we take the market indicator, if it's only updating once a day, what if we could have it update once an hour, every hour, on the hour? That way, you can find those intra-day swings. So, for instance, let's say the FTX news happens at noon, and the market indicator changes by 3 p.m. That way, it's not waiting for like 4 days to adjust. Or worst case, it might wait just 1 or 2 days. So those are the ways we're looking into making the platform even more robust and just faster to react to market movements and the volatility we've been experiencing in crypto. No, Cryptshota, my dashcam hasn't come yet. I went through and looked at the pre-order page, and basically it's saying that if you I ordered 2 of mine, I think in June of this year. And looking at the table they had on the webpage, I showed this in the private alerts channel on Token Metrics, but I believe projections are Q1 or Q2. I'm sorry, I think by end of Q1. So looking at that, I'm not really expecting to get my dash cam until early next year. So it's going to take a while. Have you heard from TrueBit AI on Ethereum? The name sounds familiar, but I've not, I don't really have much to go on that. Is Filecoin okay? Technology-wise, Filecoin is great. Tokenomics-wise, it's not good. I mean, this is coming from, I was an early investor in Filecoin. I was part of their CoinList private sale or public sale, whatever you want to call it, back in 2017. I did a 50x return. Not bad, not shabby. I actually I learned about Filecoin from going to my first ever crypto conference. I think was Token Summit. They pitched there. The founder was there pitching. Then I also went to their conference in San Francisco, in the Valley, and ended up investing based off of that. But tokenomics-wise, it's not good, honestly, right? I think if you're looking for a storage play that also has great technology, that has better tokenomics, is Arweave. Arweave is one to look into. It's also been getting lots of adoption. They have a huge war chest. There is lots of capital from A16Z and some other blue chip investors. I'm gonna actually pull them up here. Just give me 1 sec. So let's compare Filecoin and Arweave. Sorry, well, we think Arweave is better than Filecoin from a value investing perspective. I'm not saying from a technology perspective. Filecoin could have better technology, but let's say Filecoin's technology is an A plus and Arweave is A minus or B plus. That's not bad, right? As long as you aren't investing in projects with a technology score of F, right? Basically, you want to avoid scams. But looking at this, max supply for Filecoin, 2 billion. Maximum total supply, 2 billion. The available supply, 351 million. So it's one of those VC Ponzi plays. There's so many of them. The game is getting old. So a project could have great technology, but if they have VC Ponzi, where basically, what is this? More than 75, about 80% or more of the tokens are not in the market. Those tokens are going to dump in the market. The fact they're being dumped in the market is sell pressure that's going to keep the price down like a basketball underwater, right? It's pressure, it's gravity. You want to find great projects with great technology, great fundamentals, and no gravity holding them down. So while Falcon has great technology, there's just too much gravity in inflation. And it's down almost 99% from all-time high. All-time high was over 236. It is currently at 299. So compare that to Arweave. Arweave's max supply, 66 million. Total supply, 6.46 million. Available supply, what's liquid right now? 50.1 million. And Arweave is only down 92.3% from all-time high. All-time high was basically $89.24. It's currently 66.85. Mark FDV for Arweave, 453 million. And FDV for Filecoin is 5.8 billion. Think about that. So Arweave, let's say Arweave technology is B plus, B plus, Filecoin is A plus, or even A minus. And Filecoin has all that inflation hitting the market. Arweave has barely any inflation hitting the market. And Arweave is essentially a tenth the price, a tenth the FDV of Filecoin. So from a value investing perspective, you find deep value. And value investing is basically getting the price the market, or finding the price the market is valuing an asset at, and then buying way below that price. That's deep value investing. So looking at this, let's say we think Arweave we think its FDV, its valuation should be at 2.5 billion. Or let's say next market cycle, we think Arweave can get to Filecoin's FDV. That's over a 10x return on your money without any inflation. So that's pretty damn good. Now let's say Filecoin is at 5.8 billion. Let's call it 6 billion. And they do a 10x and they go to 60 billion FDV next market cycle. You have to factor in the inflation, right? 80% of the supply has to hit the market and it's going to be dumped on you. So that 10x might end up being a 5x or 2x. So it might go to, or it might even stay the same. You might not make any money, but the FTV does a 10x. That's possible in projects with a very low float. So I would be very, very careful with that. Basically, I would not touch Filecoin, but I would touch Arweave. Actually, our fund does have some Arweave, and we do plan to accumulate that. Ian, what are your top 5 coins right now for the bull? Top 5? Good question. I'm going to give two large caps, 2 mid caps, I'm going to get 6, maybe 2 low caps. So 2 high caps. I think, let me think about this very clearly to make sure everything is Yeah, I mean, Polkadot is one, but the question is, what exposure do you want in Polkadot? Do you want Polkadot itself, or do you want an ecosystem project? So I'll just kind of put out the ones where we like, all right? So Polkadot and Moonbeam, those are two on our watch list. Polkadot has better tokenomics. Moonbeam, not quite there yet. I think it's about like 50%, or let me actually pull it up exactly, the tokenomics for Moonbeam. Because Moonbeam and Cosmos, that connection is worth watching. So yeah, so it's about 48% of the tokens are circulating for Moonbeam. I think once it gets over 50, 55% supply, definitely worth looking at. And it's down 98% from all-time high. So Moonbeam FTV 350 million. I would say Moonbeam is more of a like a mid cap. So high cap Polkadot, mid cap Moonbeam. That basically kind of playing that whole connection. Then we got Cosmos, but I'm not sure if I want to put Cosmos on that list by itself. Okay, let me just pull up tokenomics here. So Cosmos is only down 80% from all-time high. Very, very good for an L1, right? Compare that to Solana. Ethereum is down 75% from all-time high. Looking at market cap, 2.6 billion. The main thing about Atom, after double check, is their tokenomics. The token hasn't really been useful or needed. That's kind of the thing. And I know I haven't really had too much time to look into the recent launch, Atom 2.0 or Cosmos 2.0. But I think worth putting that on your list as well. Avalanche I like, but tokenomics wise, it's gonna be rough. Looking at this, Avalanche is down 92% from all-time high, so a lot more than Cosmos, but not as much as Solana. Available supply 311 million versus, so basically 75% of the tokens are liquid. Actually, I'm sorry, that's looking at total supply. Max supply, so slightly under 50% are liquid. So not so much. What other large caps? Just give me 1 second here. I want to make sure looking at the right list here. Yeah, so large cap wise, I would say Polkadot, Avalanche, Polygon, of course, because I don't think Matic is done yet. So if we just go through that, currently it's 10th in market cap. Matic is only down 72.5% from all-time high. So Matic is down a lot less than Ethereum. That is something. I mean, that's actually pretty impressive. And 90% of the tokens are already circulating. With an FTV of 8 billion, I mean, I like large cap wise, Matic, Polkadot, those are definitely worth looking at for next cycle. So the way I'll view it is basically you could say Polygon, Matic is the next ETH, right? Because we talked about Bitcoin is where the puck was, and we're done with that. We're not looking in the rearview mirror anymore. That's why I've been down with Bitcoin since 2018. And then Ethereum was the next Bitcoin last cycle. So basically 2017, 2018. And now, honestly, we're done with Ethereum. We've moved on. So why look back at it? I mean, we still have it. We still have it as a store of value, but what's next? And what was next last cycle was Polygon, 400x return. And why it did well? It didn't really have those horrible VC Ponzi-nomics like these other L1s are launching with. And it launched at a very fair or rather undervalued valuation, FTV. And nowadays, we're not really seeing that. These projects are just doing these VC Ponzi-nomics, giving out some mini airdrops and calling it a day. But now the question is, what's the next Polygon? because now I think Polygon is the next Ethereum. So where Ethereum was last cycle is where Polygon is now, except even it's doing a lot better. The biz dev is incredible. All these partnerships, Starbucks, Disney. So basically, Polygon, Polkadot as a large caps. If we go to mid caps, we had Moonbeam. I think those tokenomics have to get slightly better. Have to get over 50% circulating tokens, but definitely worth putting on your list. Then, what other mid tier? Let me see here, because I want to do it based off of FTV. Because Solana, I think not yet. I'd rather have had Polygon right now than Solana, honestly, because of the whole ecosystem. Helium has too much execution risk now, so I would not put that on that list. I think the fact that they're pivoting and migrating over to Solana, and with everything that's happening with Solana, hell no. Right now, I think you just got to take a wait and see approach. There's just too much risk in Solana and too much risk with them migrating over, too much execution risk. So too many variables out of their control that could go wrong. Okay, so we have Near. Let me just look at their tokenomics. Yeah, I mean, I think Near's a good mid-tier. FDV 1.3 billion. About 84% of the tokens are circulating, which is good. It's down 93.4% from all-time high. So Near, although it's kind of over $1 billion valuation, not quite mid-cap, but I would say it's a good third large cap to put on your list. And great with VCs. They have a lot of capital. What other mid-tier do I want to get? Because we have Arweave. We said Arweave was market cap wise. FTV, yeah, I would say Arweave is mid-tier. I'll put Arweave and Moonbeam as two good mid-tier picks for the next cycle. Because Arweave is 450 million FTV. Now, GMX is one we've been looking at. It was a coin of the month for this month. It's had a pretty good month. Our models liked it. FTV 600 million. And about 8.4 million tokens are liquid versus its max supply of 13.3 million. Not bad. Only down 26% from all-time high. So I think worth keeping on your list as a potential pick for next cycle, but I feel like kind of like Synthetics of last cycle. Synthetics made its money in the bear market. It did a 50x return or more. They launched basically yield farming or whatever, but they didn't really make money in the bull run. And I'm afraid that GMX might be doing the same thing, because typically all these derivative projects do well when people are trying to short the market. But in the bull run, when everything's going up, not many people are trying to short the market because you get wrecked. So I feel like GMX might be more of a bear market play. While a good project might not be the play for the next bull run. But for this cycle, definitely, or this bear market cycle, definitely worth having on your list, on your watch list, GMX. The other one I like, Canto. I've covered this before. It's basically an EVM for an Ethereum virtual machine for the Cosmos ecosystem. If you're looking for a bridge, because I mentioned earlier I'm bullish in Cosmos, Atom. So how do you play that from an investment perspective? Right? You have Atom, which we covered before on your watch list, but then you also have the infrastructure projects or the bridges. And the way I view it is all these Ethereum applications, if they're trying to market to the Cosmo ecosystem, there has to be a bridge. There has to be an EVM over, right? I know some people are bearish on EVMs long term, saying, why do you want to just have EVMs for everything or for other chains? But I'm saying, the same way we had all these copy and paste products, all these forks that went over to Avalanche, from Ethereum to Avalanche. If you take all the Olympus, like Time Wonderland was an Olympus DAO fork, migrated over to Avalanche under subnet for EVM, which made it easy for Avalanche to grow and get more users. So it's a great user acquisition strategy. So how is Cosmo going to grow? They have to recruit Ethereum devs. They have to recruit Ethereum users over, and they need an EVM for that. I'm not saying that's the final end goal for Cosmos, but you need bait to get them into the ecosystem with very little friction, and an EVM does that. So the question is, what EVM is going to win? Or rather, what EVM is undervalued? So I've covered this before. Canto is that EVM, in my opinion, in our team's opinion, versus Evmos. Evmos is way overvalued based on tokenomics. Canto FTV, 112 million. Now the supply is not good. It's about 400 million. It's basically about 40% of the supply is liquid. It's down 71% from all-time high. So, I mean, compared to ETH, it's down a lot less than ETH. Although I think it launched a lot later. It basically launched this year. But worth putting on your watch list. I think supply is not ideal. I think if it's over 50, that would be a good time to start looking at potentially accumulating it. But this is on our watch list. So that's at this FTV, it might even be a low cap. I would say if we consider low cap under 100 million, it's not quite there, but it's getting there. If you wait it out, it'll be under 100 million. I think at FTV of over 100 million, I mean, you might even be able to find this at an FTV of, I'm sorry, let's say this goes down to, FTV of 75 million. That'll be pretty good for an L1, EVM L1 on Cosmos. If you compare that to Evmos, Evmos has an FTV of 289 million. So Evmos is 3 times more expensive with a lot. I think in the past when I looked at it, it was like a quarter the TVL. So if you compare the on-chain data, Evmos is overvalued. But anyway, so those are the picks. I'll add Hive Mapper. Currently, not buying the token, only getting the dashboard and just dashcam and just driving around. Right now, the FTV of Hive Mapper is not even a low cap. Although it's very illiquid, it's trading on a Solana DEX. If I pull up Honey, well, actually, just put in Hive Mapper. Okay, I don't have it here, but on CoinMarketCap, it was 1.7 billion FTV. Ridiculous. So I will not touch it until it drops 98% from its all-time high. So it has a way to go. So basically, that means Hive Mapper, the Honey token, should be at a price of basically half a penny for it to even be remotely worth even looking at. And it has to be liquid, has to be a liquid market, and currently that's not available. So basically, we mentioned Polkadot, Cosmos, Polygon, GMX, Canto, Hive Mapper after it drops 98% from all-time high, basically at half a penny. What else would I add to that list? Arweave, we mentioned Arweave, can't forget that. Let me actually check Mina. Mina protocol had great technology, great funding to sustain itself in a bear market, but can it survive? FTV 467 million. Basically, about 80% of the tokens are liquid. It's down 95% from all-time high. The main thing is getting developer adoption. Basically, they're the smallest blockchain up there, but just getting developers in the ecosystem. I also mentioned Moonbeam. Can't forget that one. So I think all those are fair. Let me just give me 1 second here. I'm trying to. All right, so hopefully that answers your question regarding my top 5 coins right now for the next bear market. Yeah, interoperability was the topic. Yeah, the sound has not been too good. I did answer my thoughts on Cosmos, Dante, so hopefully that helped. I mean, long-term Cosmos applications for specific chains is becoming a big narrative. And I see that continuing in the next cycle. And if you look at the data now, because I just looked at it with you guys, Cosmos is down a lot lower from the all-time high than Ethereum is. So Cosmos has been a better store of value than Ethereum, which I didn't even know. So factoring that in with the growth we're seeing with the ecosystem, definitely worth keeping an eye on that for the next cycle. Would it be a good strategy to get Polkadot and lock them up for 2 years, benefiting from the projects within their ecosystem? I mean, honestly, I don't know. I haven't done any staking or locking up in Polkadot, so that's not really my expertise. Can't really comment on the pros and cons of that. But I do know that Polkadot, as a crypto asset, solid in our opinion. As mentioned before, great technology, tokenomics, good. And in terms of the ecosystem, Moonbeam is the other ecosystem project we like because lots of Moonbeam connects with Cosmos. Lots of Cosmos projects are connecting to Polkadot through Moonbeam. It's basically acting as a bridge. So Polkadot ecosystem and Cosmos ecosystem tied together via Moonbeam. I think you have to have one of the two. But Moonbeam, I think tokenomics can be better. So you got to kind of wait that out. So hopefully that helps. Gala. Okay, I think Gala is the gaming project, right? Let me look that up. So it didn't really mention a gaming project on this list. I feel like GameFi also had its own tokenomics with Axie Infinity, because I mean those got wrecked. So Gala is down 97.7% from all-time high. Available supply is 7.5 billion. Max supply is 50 billion out of a total of 38.9 billion currently. Yeah, tokenomics not the best. So I mean, I would be careful with that. I mean, gaming wise, honestly, I don't even know what gaming project is good right now. I mean, the large caps, Mana, Decentraland, and Sandbox. But looking at this, Sandbox Mana is down 94% from all-time high. FDV 730 million. If we go to Sandbox, okay, this is not popping up. Let me. Okay, there we go. All right, so Sandbox is down 94.6 from all-time high. FDV 1.3 billion. About 50% of the tokens are circulating. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any gaming play I would play now. I feel like you have to have a 0 to 1 improvement in the next gaming innovation. So if anything, I think the next gaming play has already happened. I think it was Bored Apes with other deeds and other world or other side metaverse, and that was the airdrop. The airdrop was the money. I mean, that was a win for me. I mean, I made over 6 figures in airdrops. I mean, Bored Apes was. I mean, that was a huge one actually. That whole narrative. If you got a mutant or a Bored Ape early, I was still pretty late. I got mine like 3 months after it launched, but the airdrop, the mutant, the other deeds, I have a coda, so it's been the gift that keeps on giving in a bear market. But I have now officially sold all my ape because I did not want to be in the market with all this FUD happening in crypto because I do think we're going under. But let me pull up Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity is down 95.7% from all-time high. Yes, available supply 114 million basically out of 270 million. Tokenomics not that good. FTV 1.9 billion. So I feel like you got to find the next Axie for the next cycle at a very cheap valuation. So I'm not really seeing any gaming projects currently, but let's actually switch over to the NFT sector. So I covered this on the customer premium webinar. If you're not a customer, I definitely highly encourage you to join because I'm back to doing the webinars now, once a week webinar. Then if you have the Astrobots, the Token Metrics Astrobot Society NFTs, which are lifetime membership NFTs to our platform. I also do the alpha call on Mondays. So basically, you guys can have me 3 days a week. And this time I'm basically sharing alpha. We're not doing TA. We're doing straight alpha, straight whatever we're doing in the market, how to use Token Metrics as a platform. But basically, what I covered on there is if you're looking to play the NFT sector, what would you look at? And right now, looking at the data, there's been a huge surge in market share by Blur token, right? So that's why we're putting it on our watch list. Now, the token hasn't officially launched yet, but the surge primarily is happening because people are speculating, or rather are using the platform and listing their NFTs to get their airdrop this coming. I think they've had two or three rounds, or they have 2 rounds, and a third one is coming up. And then they'll do the airdrop, I believe, in Q1 next quarter. But what I'm curious to see is currently Blur has surged and taken a lot of market share. I think over 10% of the NFTs now are being traded on Blur, which came out of nowhere. I think maybe even more. But once that airdrop happens, will those numbers subside or will it keep on going up? Because if that's the case, that will encroach into OpenSea's territory because OpenSea has no token and people on crypto love tokens. So how do you put the NFT space in terms of investing? So I think keep an eye on Blur. Let's see what their FTV is and their tokenomics are once they launch. If they're horrible, then it's a done deal. But if they're good with their on-chain growth, if that keeps on happening post airdrop wash trading, allegedly, then that's definitely worth looking at. The other one looks rare. They had an airdrop as well. I did get their airdrop, but didn't really make much on it. Now I was staking it. I've been selling my staking rewards, but pulling up looks rare. FTV 144 million. Total supply, available supply, 54% of the tokens out of the billion max supply are liquid, and total supply of 800 million. So looks rare, worth keeping an eye on. And the fact that if you stake, you earn a portion of the trading fees or whatever, or listing fees, whatever it is. So you can earn some cash on that. Blur token, I have to double check if you get revenue fees, but I know it's a governance token. If it's just really governance token, not worth touching. If you get a portion of revenue fees, definitely worth keeping an eye on. All right, so those are the 2 NFT plays I'll be looking at. If I had to add a third one that we looked at, and we're still keeping eyes on, Immutable X. Basically, it's an L2 for Ethereum NFTs. FTV 868 million. Available supply 731 million. Total supply 2 billion. Tokenomics not the best. They can get better. That's why for now, just keep it on your watch list till those tokens dump on the market. All-time high, it's down over 95% from all-time high, but worth keeping on your watch list NFT-wise. So those are the NFT plays. Any other NFT plays I would add? Let me take a look. I think that's kind of it at the moment. Are people against XRP? It's so anti-crypto and decentralization, or because it's been thoroughly researched in great depth like other cryptos? Because I mean, XRP just has poor tokenomics. I mean, and the token is not really needed. Great business. I mean, they're making bank, but tokenomics wise, I mean, let me actually pull this up here to make sure I have the right facts, because I know the XRP army will come after me. Regardless, so might as well have my data correct. All right, so XRP is down 89.6 from all-time high. FTV, 35 billion. 35 billion, 6 in market cap. Available supply, 50.3 billion. Total max supply, 100 billion. So half the tokens are out there about time. So all right, tokenomics, but the FTV is 35 billion. How are you going to get 100x from 35 billion FTV? I mean, that means you have to go to 350 for 10x, 350 billion FTV. For 100x, you got to get to 3.5 trillion FTV. Then you factor in the inflation, right? Half the tokens have to hit the market. It might take a 2 or 300x for that, or even more. So the money's already been made in XRP, man. This is somebody who made money on XRP. I was in XRP back in the day, 2016, 2017. I sold early because I got in when XRP was under a penny. I was kind of not smart. I was day trading it, pump and dumps basically, or just riding the waves. And eventually I said, you know what? I'm done trading. Bought it again at 3 cents, held it all the way till 35 cents, made my first ever 10x and cashed out. I said, thank you, on to the next one. And currently it is at the same price, 35 cents. So literally almost like basically 2 bull markets happen and it's still at the same price. Why? The FTV is too damn high. Like there's no money, like it will take a monumental effort just to get a 10x return out of this. Then you factor in half the tokens have to dump on the market, that inflation. So there's no money to be made in XRP, man. I mean, maybe you want to hold it because it's sentimental. Maybe I'll say take a photo and frame it, and you'll have that with you for the rest of your life, and then cash out and on to the next XRP. Because imagine now, I guess the regret I had is if I had the XRP I had that under a penny, that would have been like 100x almost, 50x, 100x. But now it's just going up and down. It's going sideways, guys. It's not really going much. So how can something with a $35 billion FTV, with a token that's not really doing much, and has half the tokens to dump on the market, how's that going to go anywhere? I would say keep it moving. Like an even better investment than that is Polkadot. Polkadot, I know the two aren't really kind of similar, but from just purely a value investing perspective, if we go to dot FTV 5.6 billion. So dot could do let's say 5x, 7x to get to XRP's market cap or FTV rather. And 1.2 billion tokens are liquid out of 1.3 billion. So basically it's like 95% of the tokens already out there, only 5% inflation. So you got a project that's a fifth the price of XRP. That's an L1, much bigger use case. With all the tokens already out there, only 6% additional inflation till whenever. So why would you be holding XRP, man? There's no data-driven way to justify holding it. Maybe if it's sentimental, I get it and I respect it. I can't knock people's feelings. But if we're trying to make money, that's just, I don't see how the math adds up. Hey, what's up, ASAP fam? I'm doing great. How about you? Upgrade lifestyle. Hope you're doing well. The two most I think you're starting to say the two most important ecosystems are Ethereum and Cosmos. Uh, I mean, I'll say the two. Yes, right now Ethereum by far 2/3 of the market is on Ethereum. I think the next one to watch, Cosmos. I feel like Solana has fallen from grace. Cosmos is rising up. So I would say ETH, Cosmos, and then we have Polkadot. I would say as a third, because I mean ETH is just killing it. Polygon, Arbitrum as well, Optimism, all these L2s. That's what I would do. Yeah, my issue is not the internet. I have a 1 gig internet, but we have to figure out exactly what's going on. But I think for now we should be good. I'm aching to dollar cost average into great utility tokens right now. When we're in the dumpster, I'm just nervous of new laws post Ripple case that deem most of the market security or something similar and tanks 99%. Well, yes, I mean regulations is definitely going to be an issue, but that's why we have to be pro being fully decentralized. Because guess what? Nobody can tell us what to do. If it's fully decentralized, if people have a decentralized stablecoin, if they have decentralized dexes that have decentralized front ends, which is the key. So, for example, take Uniswap, SushiSwap, all these dexes, because code, everything's code. So, how do you shut down a protocol? They couldn't shut down BitTorrent. They tried, they couldn't. They could shut down Napster because it was centralized. BitTorrent, they could not. So, how are they going to shut down a decentralized protocol? If you decentralize the front end, so like for example, Liquidity, the DeFi project we covered before, they have decentralized front ends that all can interact with the smart contract code done by developers. They made incentives for people to build front ends. So if you have that, I mean, they can go to hell. What are they going to do? People will just, I mean, people are going to chase that 100x no matter what. So, like it or not, people, that's why DeFi was very innovative. I mean, Uniswap was a 0 to 1 game changer because now people did not have to wait for a centralized entity exchange to list a project to have liquidity. By creating liquidity pools and having the community, investors, holders of the project token, provide the liquidity and earn rewards for that, yield farming. Oh man, I mean that was a catalyst for the new bull run. So we need something like that for the next cycle. So I mean, SEC cannot stop that because Uniswap was 0 to 1 improvement versus Ether Delta. For those who back in the day who know 2016, 2017, Ether Delta, that was decent, but not the best. Uniswap was way better. Then we had B3. Now you have Uniswap with NFTs. But now, what's the next 0 to 1 improvement? Once that happens, I mean, I think front end is definitely worth looking into, but they cannot shut down crypto. They have to just eventually bow down and just kiss the ring, kiss the feet. Crypto is here to stay, whether they like it or not. The people the people who vote and put politicians into power, into office, if they vote and become single issue voters and vote for, we want crypto now, figure this out. Hey, it's gonna happen. It's taking time, but it's gonna happen. What's your take on Perp protocol news revenue share with USDC? I mean, we were bullish on Perp protocol a while back, last cycle, but it's underperformed. Now GMX has basically done what we were hoping Perp would do. Now let me actually pull this up. Okay, Perp. All right, looking at this, yeah, it's down 98.4% from all-time high. I mean, that is crazy. Now, tokenomics were not the best. That was one of the factors. 70 million supply, 150 million total supply. So about slightly less than half the tokens were circulating. FTV, 58 million. I mean, but I would not touch Perp because we have GMX that's way better right now, more adoption. Perp has had the time to do well, but hasn't done anything. I think maybe GMX, because GMX was an Arbitrum, maybe that's why. But the revenue share with USDC, USDC is a centralized stablecoin. Right now, they're really, I know it's liquid, but one, USDC is a joint partnership between Circle and Coinbase. Coinbase, their stock is getting hit. Coinbase, their market cap or valuation now is lower than Dogecoin. This stock is down over 80% from all-time high. Revenues are down, what, over 65%? No, I still think they're solvent, but who knows how long the bear market could last? I mean, anything is possible. At this point, anything is possible. So do you want a stablecoin controlled by those entities? And then the fact that they voted through the whole Maker DAO or whatever to have, I believe, 1.6 billion USDC sent to be custodied with Coinbase. That seems very centralized to me, right? So basically, half of the voting, well, I'm sorry, half of Maker DAO and DAI is using USDC as collateral, which is a centralized stablecoin. So for me, I would prefer if it was decentralized, but then we have other issues like UST, where those algo stablecoins also collapse and just break peg. So I guess it depends what you want. I mean, USDC, I'm not opposed to it. I think it's decent, but I would like to learn more about that. Bill is not with us with the company anymore. Bill's moved on. We wish him the best. Yeah, so now it's back to us. How do you log into Token Metrics with your Astrobot? You just log in, click login screen, and click MetaMask, and log in with a wallet that has your MetaMask. I'm sorry, log into MetaMask with the wallet that has your Astrobot NFT, and it will automatically pick that up and log you into that account. Ian, please invest in some good audio. It's been 3 years of suffering. I mean, I do have great audio. It's just that when I travel, because my studio is in Austin, and then I'm there typically half the year or so. And then in New York, I do have equipment coming, and right now I'm here traveling in Maryland at my parents' home, right? So all the different things I had, I did buy this nice little camera here, but can't really use it because my computer, its adapter broke. Basically, travel it's just the downside of traveling all the time. Stuff happens, but I thank you for the patience. Would you be open to coming to a meetup in Brooklyn, New York, or anywhere in New York City? Yeah, I'm down. I have a place in New York, so I'm between New York and Austin. So I'll be back in New York probably and sometime in January. Hey, Ian, good to have you back on live streams, like in good old days. Thank you, Jan. Great to have you as well. All right. Big Man Tings says, is ADA still a good investment at these prices for the next bull run? Oh man, okay, so let's go after ADA next. All right, so because I know the Cardano Amis, they're pretty strong too. They come out in droves. All right, so Cardano is down 91.6% from all-time high. All right, I mean, that's kind of concerning considering Cardano is not a new L1, right? What does that mean? Oh, wow. All right, sorry guys, just give me 1 second. I think a tree might have just dropped. Give me one.
There is no audio from your side. No, there's no audio yet.
Hello, Grab, can you hear me now? Hello, Grab.
Yes, fine.
You guys can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. All right. Unfortunately, I do have to get going, but it's been great. We're now past the top of the hour. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below, and we'll get to them next week, or just tag us on Twitter at Token Metrics. That being said, as we like to say, the moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. Thank you, crypto family. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.